Let's learn practically inheritance, what is inheritance and how it can be implemented in Java. So let's create one subclass and superclass. So inheritance is one major object-oriented concepts, and it is something which is being used in Java. So it is kind of superclass and subclass where subclass will get a properties of superclass. So wherever there are some generic methods or operations to be performed, so that we can store in a superclass, and then that can be utilized in the subclasses. So no need to reuse, no need to write the code again. So it is kind of reusability of the code, and that way we use inheritance. So let's create one class which will say, I will say it is a superclass. So this will be a superclass which will have some, suppose there is something which is a generic method, but for now let's say means this as having integer a and b variables, and then we can create some methods. So here we can just say this as a is, I'm just printing this. So both the values a and b I just wanted to print here, and I will just say this is a super class, and then I will create another uh, class which will be a subclass which will extend this class. So how to extend this class? So let's create this. So once we have created this, what we can do, we can say as extends superclass, right? So whatever the methods which are available in this superclass, whatever variables that will be accessible in this subclass. So let's say means this we have integer, we are creating one variable which says c, and I'm just creating another method as well. So where I'm just printing so this is what, and I as a subclass what I can do means I will this subclass will be having access to whatever written here, like this variable. So we can have another method where we can just say that addition is let's say means a plus b plus c, right? So I'm just doing this, so you will see means there is no error, means though these variables are not declared in this class, but they are available in this super class, as we are extending this as super class. We have access to this, and now let's create another main class which will access this super class and subclass. So so this is the class which from where we can create and access create objects of that superclass and subclasses, and can access its method. So in this method, in this class we will just write, first we will create the objects of superclass. As new superclass, and for subclass again also we can create a new object. So this way we are just created these two classes, and then we can assign the values to its variable. So now let's say this is super class. We do have so suppose we do have access in the there are two variables a and b, so we can assign some values to this, right? So these are the two values are initialized for this super class, and we can just call that function, which is, we'll see this show ab. So this is, we are just printing from just say contents from subclass or superclass, and that we are printing here. Now if you say if you wanted to print the contents from subclass, then we can write here. So we have object created for subclass, which is subclass, and subclass C. So we will assign some value for this as well, and then from this object we can call some function as well, and then there is C as well, so which says, so these are the two methods which are from subclass that can be accessed. And so if I try to run this, let's say means what's the output it. So now if you see means in this you will see the first one is when we call this, so this is contents from superclass, and when we call this show ab, so it will go to this superclass and it will just print these two things, so a is and b is whatever the values which are getting initialized. And then after that means we have contents from subclass, so in subclass we have assigned 34 is a value for c variable, which is this one, and then we are printing that c here as show ac, and then we are doing some addition as well for this, so a plus b plus c. So this is a sum function which is getting called, though this sum function is having two variables, instance variable a b c. uh, so a and b are not declared in this class, but they are getting from its superclass. So this is the way means we can access this sub instance variables and methods. So whatever the variables and instance variable are here, that can be accessed in this as well. So one more thing means if you say, so if you do a subclass, and you will see various what are the members available or accessible to this subclass. So subclass object is having a and b from superclass, c from subclass, and then you will see show ab is from a superclass. So this is one function which is getting access written in superclass but can be accessed from the subclass. So this is the use, this is what the visibility of subclass is having. So whatever the members return in this superclass, that can be accessed in subclass without any issues when we have extends superclass. So extends means it will get all the properties from the superclass. So there is one more thing means if you say means I am declaring one variable which is let's say x, but I am declaring it as private. So you will see this x variable is not cannot be accessed here. If you try to print this variable here, uh, let's say means you wanted to access that, so let's try to access that variable, and we if we say x is, so and if you just try to do this, it will say give an error because this x is not visible. Superclass dot x is not visible. So you will see means this x, though x is declared here, because it is private, access specifier has been provided as private, it will not be accessed to its subclass as well, though it is a extend superclass properties or inherited class. So that's why means if we say this is public, then it can be possible that it is accessible. So you will not find any problem. But whenever it is having private, so suppose some of the variables you don't want to access to by anyone else or any other classes, so that at that time you can make it as private, and it will not be accessed this. So this is the use of the inheritance, and we can have when we have practical examples, we can write some of the common functions or common operations to be performed on any classes in a superclass, and that superclass can be extended by any other classes. So these are the so this x is only accessible in this class. The other thing is we can extend many classes like so this is one class which is extended. The other class also we can extend, means we can create another class which can extend a superclass. So one superclass can be extended in many one or more classes. So let's say means this is subclass 2. So we can extend this class means from its superclass. So right. So here also we can write other methods and do some coding here as well. So this is also again possible that we can extend a superclass can be extended by one or more classes. So this is also possible, and a subclass also can be extended by other class. So suppose this is subclass, so this class can be extended. So I can create another class which can be extended by another class, so or inherited. So we can make it as subclass. So it is so we will say extend subclass. Yeah. So whatever the class which we have written as subclass, so this subclass which was here, it becomes a super class for this new class. So now if you say as this is extending the subclass, it will get a property of its original superclass as well, though the main superclass. So whatever so this a and b are accessible to the third level as well. So we can like we can create some functions, and if you try to uh, access a, so it can be possible. uh, A and B. So A is coming from the its super class. So main or parent class. We can have C class, C variable as well. So C is coming from its super class, which is subclass this one. So likewise we can have this as many as subclasses, and this can be extended till whatever the levels you wanted to have it. So it can be inherited. So the first superclass properties will get extended or inherited to its lower levels of classes, as long as it is getting extended by its subclass. So this is how we can use inheritance in Java, and I hope you have understood this inheritance examples. If you have any questions or any doubts, then please put it in comment section, and if you like my video, then please like it and subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you for watching.